Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. I am the Showstopper, and I have a Showstopper Sports page, and I used to react to all the Chiefs games, and of course, I'm reacting to this one. Now, I have to tell you, that was an exciting game. There through the first, three quarters, I was worried a little bit. I was like on the edge of my seat. I'm watching this whole game. I'm like, what's going to go on here? Our defense actually played better tonight than they had in a while. They actually gave up the least amount of yards I've given up all year, and they actually had more yards than the other team for the first time on offense. Awesome, awesome, awesome thing. So, I have to say, before I get into anything here, what I think about through the first four games of this season, as a Kansas City Chiefs fan forever, I want to tell you this reminds me of the 2003 Kansas City Chiefs. That team had a very, very, very good offense, but their defense was questionable. I was looking at their second game of that year. They beat Pittsburgh 41-20. They gave up more yards to Tommy Maddox. And it's weird because who do we play in the second game of this year? Oh, it was Pittsburgh. Who do we play first? Oh, it was San Diego, which is now the Chargers. And that's who we also beat in the first game of that season. And we also played Houston in the third game that year and beat them 42-14. But that season they started out 9-0. They beat Green Bay 40-34, and that season they beat Cleveland 41-20. They beat Oakland 27-24. They lost to Denver 45-27. Then they beat Detroit 45-17. Then Minnesota beat them 45-20. They had a bad defense that year, guys. And I was just looking that up. And looking at their stats that year, they gave up a lot of yards. They gave up over 5,000 yards that year, 5,700. They had 6,000 yards that year, guys. As a team, they gave up a ton of points, a ton of yards. Teams could throw the ball all over the field on them that year, which was difficult to watch because if you all remember, the season ending in Kansas City against Indianapolis and Peyton Manning beating them 38-31, the game had no punts. And that was so frustrating. They couldn't get to Peyton Manning that whole game. He got to throw the ball wherever he wanted. Just everything was like pinpoint. They made no defensive changes. Why am I talking about that? Because this team reminds me of that in the defense, except for this game. This is the best I've seen their defense play all year. Mahomes, my goodness. Mahomes is the real deal. For the first time since I've been a Chiefs fan, since really Trent Green, this is the quarterback I'm the most excited about. Yes, I watched Joe Montana, but my gosh, that was so far back. I've had to go rewatch some of the games just to remember how good he was. But this is the best quarterback Kansas City has had since Joe Montana and Trent Green. Those guys were great. This guy is somebody I've never even seen before. They talked about Michael Vick making certain plays. Michael Vick had the arm and he could scramble like that, but he had horrible accuracy. Most of the time his passes were so inaccurate it was crazy. Mahomes is not. And okay, people are going to talk about the play where the clock ran down to 0, and I thought it did live. I was like, oh, that's close. The thing is, he threw the ball for 35 yards, and they needed 7. So had they even moved him back 5 yards, there's still a good chance he's making a play. Then it's fourth down. He's still going to make some kind of play or the kick. I don't know what happened at that point, but my goodness, the dude was making plays no matter what was going on. That was the best the defense has played all year. That's the best the offense, because Kareem Hunt finally got off for some nice plays, and he looked great. And I loved watching during that game. They showed Andy Reid going to sit by Mahomes, and he was just talking to him. They're just sitting there having a conversation about the game. Like, the defense is going on. Reid, he's like, Sut's over there. He's got this. And tonight he did. And it's like, was it just me, or did Kelsey seem to be moving in slow motion? I know it has to be that mile-high altitude, because he looked like he was in slow-mo tonight. He played great. It was the tale of two halves for him. 0 yards in the first half, and he went nuts in that second half, including that awesome little play there on the goal line. And, of course, our kicker, great. Butker is the man. As an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, it's nice to see these professional kickers that you see the huge difference between a guy who's got it and a guy who don't. But that's where I'm at, guys. That's my reaction. So far, when I watch this, it reminds me of that team, because we've had some good defensive teams the last few years, decent defenses. But the offense, it would crumble. Games like that tonight, Alex Smith did win a few like that for the most part. Some of those, when he would run out and throw that, he's throwing it away. And I saw Eric Bieniemy yelling at Mahomes to throw the ball away a couple times, and I was like, let the man play the game. He kind of knows what he's doing out there. So there you go, guys. That's my reaction. I'm excited about them. We got the Jags coming in next Sunday to Arrowhead. And what's going to happen there, I don't know. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm not getting my hopes up. This is 4 games. We started out 5-0 last year. We started out 9-0 a few years ago and just crumble. Of course, we don't have Peyton Manning to worry about in the division. We're the only unbeaten team in the AFC right now. That's incredible. I can't wait to see what we do going forward. So I can't wait to see the next game. It's like, what is Mahomes going to do next? If he even stands in the pocket and just throws the ball, he's still making plays. He doesn't always need to run like that. That left-handed throw, oh my goodness. Oh, I was on the edge of my seat that whole game. I'm sweating still, guys, and yeah. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That's my reaction so far to the Chiefs. This is according, of course, to the Broncos game, plus this season so far. It's 4 games in, guys. We're a quarter of the way through. First quarter is done. Let's see what we can do, because it's what happens in January that scares me. And that guy right there on the field, he ain't afraid of anything. There's no stage too big for Patrick Mahomes.